Japanese. The Americans looking for their 5th consecutive win in the World League. I'm Randy Rosenblum with Kirk Kilgore. The Americans, Kirk, were down in the first game 10-3, scored the last 12 points of game 1, and they've been in control since.
Well, they've been playing very well. They're trying to close this off in 3 straight, not letting the Japanese take a game from them.
Japanese have always started well in the games. Izzy Mikawa gives Japan a 1-0 lead. They've gotten the first point in every one of the 3 games.
Well, in the 2 matches in the USA, they did the same thing in the first 2 games of the match. Jumped out to leads, and the U.S. came back and beat them. They just have to be more consistent in the end.
It's not the kind of habit you want to get into, is falling behind in these games. The Americans, as they chat with the official Mark Dumont of Canada, Fred Sturm wanted an explanation. Apparently Dan Greenbaum is going to be called over to the near sideline.
A substitution right now. They had actually a different number. They probably put the wrong number starting, and it would be Javier Gaspar would be the starter. So good break for Gaspar. He was written in there. Somebody forgot to tell him, I guess.
Well, he hadn't been in there in a while. He probably didn't know what to do. Look at Javier. He's chuckling. I haven't seen him with the glasses.
I was going to say, he's added the goggles. Now he comes out again. That was a quick match. But it does cost him the substitution.
Well, that was somewhat strange, wasn't it?
Well, I'm sure they wrote the wrong number down, or were planning on starting Gaspar and put 11 in there.
At least he had a chance to sample his new specs. There's one that's hit wrong by Matsuda.
Just to style a little bit on TV.
Japanese, they do not win this game, it's all over. We'll have one more match with the United States here in Osaka. But it appears that this American team's going to make the World League playoffs. They've never been in the World League playoffs. There's a kill on the outside for Izzy Mikawa, his 17th.
Well, in fact, Randy, if they win the match tonight, which it looks like they're going to right now, they're certainly in the driver's seat, they will equal their total for last year, which is the most wins they had in World League, 5.
There's a kill again for Izzy Mikawa. And once again, the Japanese lead 2-0.
The U.S. team was 1-11 in the first year of the World League, 5-11 in the second year. So, big improvement, 5-0 right now if they win the match tonight.
There's one hit long by Ivy. His approach faltered there. He was struggling when he made contact with the ball.
The biggest problem I think Greenbaum's having in the hitters with the hitters is that back row attack. Coming out of the back row, they're not giving enough lead or too much lead to get good wood on the ball.
Oh, great effort as it's run down by Matsuda. What a play by Matsuda. Samuelson nails it. You talk about the hitters struggling with Greenbaum. Bob Samuelson is not struggling.
Well, and he shouldn't probably. He's been playing with Greenbaum for a year and a half as a starting setter. Same with Scott Fortune. They should be very comfortable, along with Brian Ivy.
Fortune tips it over, winning the joust against Aoyama. Stavertlik nailed it off the block. Nice effort by Bob Stavertlik.
And for Dan Greenbaum also. He's been playing mostly with the second team in practice, and that does make a difference. You get into a different rhythm with different players.
That had a hand, so another kill for Izzy Mikawa.
Izzy Mikawa tonight, I think, is the definition of terminal hitter. He's either hitting the ball down for a kill or out of bounds. Has 8 hitting errors and probably 12 to 13 kills, so he's having a good match.
There's a tip that's down for Samuelson.
I look over here and see he has 14 kills, so he's doing a nice job.
Bob Samuelson, a former Matador at Cal State Northridge. And he doesn't go to the jump serve. And Aoyama has the line. No line digger there for the Americans. It's 3-1, Japan leading. In game 3, the Americans leading 2-0. Fans love it. It's 4-1 Japan.
Good dig. He just pulled his arms in as that ball ate him up. Nice play by Ogino. Put away on the outside for the point.
Ivy. Good read there with the two teammates from USC, Greenbaum and Ivy. Explaining and exchanging pleasantries. Another former USC star, Steve Timmons. Deep corner for Stavertlich. This is an all-Southern California team on the court now for the Americans. Stavertlich from Pepperdine, Timmons, Greenbaum, and Ivy from USC. Cal State Northridge, of course, has Samuelson as their alumnus.
10 of the 12 players are from the California area, the 2 not. Well, Texas, you have Acosta, and from Puerto Rico, who played at Penn State, Javier Gaspar.
Timmons serve. Americans within 1. Japanese struggling in the back row. Here's a chance for the U.S. Timmons, and he got it. Steve Timmons.
That's the back row hit we're used to seeing from Steve Timmons. Had good look at the ball, kept it in front of him, and pounded it cross court.
One of the most exciting players in the world, Steve Timmons. There's one down for Minami.
Little paintbrush shot across his body as he turns in the air. Minami over the block.
Maybe it's me, Kirk, but these uniforms are growing on me. I'm starting to like the Japanese uniforms.
Well, they're growing on you. Not on me, I'll tell you. I just don't like the mix, but they seem to like them.
Stavertlich is blocked. Ogino! I love the way this guy plays. Excitable. And his teammates appreciate his effort. The Japanese lead 5-4 in Game 3.
Good pass by Stavertlich. Gets up the Greenbaum. That combination play blocked nicely at the net. Red, high outside. And it's up and over. Minami gets the block. Or Matsuda, excuse me. The dig, and who are they going to go to? Ogino, 22-year-old outside hitter, pounds the ball past the block.
Japanese lead in Game 3 by 1.
1976. The youth of the world.
They have not been able to win a game against the United States. He's hot. He's Ogino.
Masaji Ogino again going past the block on the cross-court angle. Shoot set to the outside. Block sets up. They have to start taking away his angle now and see if he can hit line.
He too playing at home. He was born in Osaka. Steve Timmons with another winner.
Right side combos are good in that rotation. Right side combo.
Of course, Timmons and Stavertlich have been playing in Italy. Back with the national team as Minami cuts one through the block.
Quick set, goes across his body, goes by Fortune, who read the play well, right on the line.
Timmons! Oh, did he mash that one? Kaboom!
Starting to warm up a bit, Steve Timmons in the back row, that time straight down the line. The signature hit for Steve Timmons.
Minami, and he had Fortune off his feet and just tapped it off of Scott.
Well, he jumped early and delayed his hit, and Fortune was on the way down. They teach hitters to do that. Jump early, hit late, or hit early and jump late. They do both.
And leading 6-4 in Game 3. That one hit the floor.
And clearly could see it all the way. Timmons, after he pounds 2 balls straight down, Goes to the tip, and it again goes down.
Where Steve Timmons was the best blocker in the '88 Olympics after winning the award as the MVP of the '84 games. And another kill for Manami. It remains 6-4 Japan as they trade side-outs. Japan in the World League to this point not able to get above 12 points in any one game against the United States. This is their 9th game. They still have not been able to get more than a dozen as Samuelson able to knock it off of Izzy Mikawa. Skaverdlik got all 3 blockers off their feet and dinked it over their heads.
Well, obviously the Japanese have planned to play the U.S. team deep defensively. The U.S. team has picked it up. They've adjusted, and they're tipping a lot over the blockers.
These are smart American players, Timmons and Skaverdlik. They played internationally, so they know exactly how to attack all defenses. That one's put away by Otake. Haven't seen Doug Partee tonight, the veteran middle blocker of the United States. He'll make our Olympic team. He's played well in the U.S., and he's on the sideline rooting the Americans on tonight. An opening for Izzy Mikawa, and it's 7-5 Japan. He has seen the ball a lot of attacks for Izzy Mikawa. And Samuelson bombing it over the block. Here comes Samuelson. They won't get it. Another kill for Sammy.
And you can hear the players yelling, A. That's the back row set. Goes A, B, C, D across the middle. And you'll hear them yell pipe. That's right down the middle, out of the back row.
Samuelson with 20 kills.
Hey, you're allowed to, just say you did. You let the ball drop. You're allowed to let it drop one time now internationally. If you do it again, you must serve it this time.
And that ticked the net, so it's side out to Japan. Marty from France, the up official tonight. Timmons is blocked. Skaverdlik got hands. Nice effort by Skaverdlik. Now they're going to say it did not touch, and it's a point for Japan.
That was a good call. Ball hit the top of the tape, went out of bounds. Point Japan.
Another point for Japan on the lift, and it's 9-6.
Get a bad pass over the net. Anytime that happens, you're going to give up points. You must keep the ball on your side.
Credit Izzy Mikawa with a strong serve. And now he puts it in the net. Put the hex on it. Oh, he had the strong serve, then the weak serve, and that's been his storyline on this match, up and down. Hot and cold.
In and out. Up and down.
There's a roof. Brian Ivey.
Well, Brian Ivey's an exceptional blocker. He reads the play well, watches the setter's hands. This time gets over and just stuffs the ball down. Nice play.
Oh, what a serve. The bottom dropped out of that one. Ogino handcuffed. And the Americans and Steve Timmons quickly back to within one.
Had the look of a lollipop serve when it started out, but its bottom drops out, licks the Japanese.
Service error by Timmons. Side out, Japan. Steve Timmons, never with a shortage of words. Always
very
keeping his
communicative.
teammates alive. Kind of guy you love on the floor, though. Him and Samuelson try to pair. There's an ace. And it was put down by the Japanese and Aoyama. They lead by 2. We'll step aside here from Osaka. The Japanese trying to stay in this match, leading 10-8 in Game 3. Eddie Rosenblum with Kirk Kilgore. The Japanese lead here, Kirk, 10-8 with Aoyama serving. And Stavertlik pounding it through the block.
Haven't seen a lot of the right X's to Bob Stavertlik, and they'll run a lot of those combinations as the offense gets smoother.
How much are they holding back with Barcelona right in front of them, knowing that they have to play this Japanese team in the first match?
Well, I think they're holding back quite a bit of offense. They're not showing it all at any one time, so at the Olympic time, you're going to see more offense.
Remains 10-8, a little bit more of the back row attack.
Well, I think so. They'll use all 5 hitters in all 6 rotations. They go to the back row attack in combination, as well as the outside hit you see from Timmons and Samuelson and Ivy.
Kawato back in, serves. And that one really did a number on Scott Fortune. He could not play it at all. An ace for Katsumi Kawato.
Sort of gets glued to the floor. His feet don't move much. Ball drops out, and it's just a shank. He's in the shank tank right there. Not an especially tough serve. He just doesn't pass it.
And that's an area of concern for the Americans. When Fortune passes well, they win. If Fortune doesn't pass well, they struggle. But there's no struggling for Steve Timmons. He sides out for the Americans. Acosta in for Ivy. UV, last year we called him Acosta. He came up and said, we want to be called Acosta. So his grant has been wishing.
And he's really trying to make this team now as a 4th outside hitter and a back row specialist. So a lot of pressure on him to do well here, serving and playing defense.
Samuelson pounding away. Dug by Kawato. Oh, Gino hit it long. And a point for the Americans. They're within 2.
U.S. team has shown they can run points off in a hurry against this Japanese team. Let's see if they can do it here.
Nice effort by Ogino. Out-dueling Greenbaum. Akihiko Matsuda. Tipped over by Greenbaum of the American. And hit wide by Izzy Mikawa.
Well, certainly one difference between Dan Greenbaum and Jeff Stork. They're both natural left-handers. But Jeff Stork is more of a hitter mentality. He'll turn crank on that ball. I haven't seen Greenbaum do that much. He needs to hit that ball left-handed when he's in the 4-2s.
No question about it. When Stork is in there, it gives the Americans an extra attacker. This one blasted off the block by Izzy Mikawa, who continues to swing away. Running hot and cold. Here's Kuryazawa in for the first time. He who owns the sky ball. Let's see if he puts it into outer space. There's a little bit more room in this gym than in the Brent Event Center. And here we go, sky ball. Doesn't bother the Americans. It didn't bother them in San Diego. It does not bother them in Osaka.
Didn't bother them in the Forum or Irvine either because they don't have high enough seating. Well, the Forum certainly does. Big scoreboard, though, now.
Ogino in, and Kuryazawa is out of there. Quick attack for Otake. I do like that sky ball, though. It brings a lot of enthusiasm to the gym and really catches everybody's attention.
Quick set behind Otake, but you're right, Randy. The sky ball was used extensively in 1968 against the American team by the Czechoslovakians. They scored 12 straight points with a sky ball in the Olympics in '68. Where was that, Randy? Quick. '68 Olympics.
Japan.
Mexico City.
I know. I was just kidding you. Just wanted to see if you knew your facts. Narita serving. There's Stavertlik pounding away. Look at that hustle, though. Japanese Narita going over their bench. Look at this. This is just a good, hard run for the ball.
And what you can do, you can play that ball and then go into the stands, but you cannot go into the stands and then play it. So they work on playing the ball and then following through over the spectators.
Bob Samuelson goes back to the jump serve. You don't want to pass it like that. The overpass and the kill for Manami.
Two-handed overpass easily played in the back row by the Americans, but misplayed over the net and hit straight down by Minami.
Stvertlik. "12 kills for Bob Stvertlik." Crowd very quiet here in Game 3. The Americans won the first two games 15-10 and 15-11. And Manami didn't hit that one well. Plain and simply a miss hit, and Seiji Oko very concerned. Timmons serves again. Wide open space this time for Manami. Americans within one of the Japanese. An American win in this game would close out the match. Remember, the Japanese have not been able to score more than 12 points in any one game against the United States in the World League. Ivy. First player in collegiate history to go over 2,000 kills in his career. Still alive. It's hit long by guess who? Izzy Mikawa. And it's 11-all. The Americans have caught up in Osaka. The Japanese want a timeout, and so do we, at an 11 deadlock.
The USVBA, the United States Volleyball.
Another kill for Ogino, putting it through the blocker's arms. Otake returns for Narita, so Japan goes to the bigger lineup, looking for the block that'll give them the lead. Oh, Manami disappointed with that effort.
You could hear him go, oh, as he served the ball. He knew he missed it.
Americans look to grab the lead. Tied at 11. A strong blast from Ogino. And it went off the legs of Brian Ivy.
Up over the top that time for Ogino. Nice extension and hit.
Greenbaum can't play it. Point Japan. There's their 12th point. They lead 12-11.
Scott Fortune having trouble passing the ball that's short in front of him on the left-hand side. Another bad pass.
Chance for Japan to get their 13th point. That's pushed wide by Izzy Mikawa.
Can they get over 12?
I don't know, but Izzy Mikawa's had some rough moments. Remember, he started so fast in this match. Otake dug by Ivy. Here comes Samuelson. And he got it down. Able to just punch it through the block. We're deadlocked at a dozen.
Good hands by Timmons that time to go back over his head to Sammy, who puts it away.
There's a hitting error by Ogino, and again he had to go up over the block, and it forced it to go long. And the Americans within 2 points of capturing the match. Big side out for Japan. They need it right here, but there's a roof! And it was Samuelson and Timmons. Match point, United States. Americans on the brink of closing out the Japanese again. They go outside. Izzy Mikawa. A dig. Still alive. Matsuda came up with the dig. Long rally. Samuelson's roofed. It's still alive. Great rally, just long. The Japanese are still in it.
Great coverage by the Japanese to stay in this match. Two tries, the U.S. swinging twice for a match point, could not put it away. Scott Fortune hit it wide.
Another hitting error. This one by Timmons. And the Japanese within one. Timeout, U.S. 14-13. The Americans still looking for the vital match point.
To achieve your ultimate potential.
Well, you have to give Japanese credit covering their hitters. The first two attacks at 14, they covered the hitter, got blocked, and made the plays.
They're reading Samuelson pretty well right now. This time, Samuelson finally slams it off the block.
Sammy up against three blockers, goes down inside. Nice controlled play.
Match point once again for the United States. Well, this is the best that Japan has done in any one game. But certainly they're not satisfied. They want to try to steal the game away from the Americans. Americans are looking for their third straight game. They want the victory right here as Fortune serves. A kill for Izzy Mikawa, side out Japan.
Pretty gutsy set. He's been on and off all night long. That time finds hands, goes down off the block.
Otake serves. And Staverdlik gives the Americans another shot at closing out the match.
But Otake just got a lollipop serve. That's one reason he doesn't play all the time. See if Sammy goes to the jumper to try and finish this up.
Good spot right here for the former Cal State Northridge All-American to spin an ace. Try to close out the match. Tough serve. Aoyama tools it off the block. These Japanese hanging tough.
I don't think they want to go down 3-0 at home.
Well, they went down 3-0 in San Diego and 3-0 in Irvine in the World League. Samuelson is roofed by Manami, and it's even at 14. Excellent comeback by the Japanese. They dig Timmons.
Ball never cleared off the top. Aoyama tried the tip, did not make it over the net. Big play for the U.S.
Even at 14, the U.S. and Japan. There's all the pressure on the Japanese. They're down 2-0.
Timmons has been serving short here. Let's see if he does again.
Aoyama. Side out Japan. They've been going to Shigeru a lot in this big third game. A totally forgettable point for the Americans. Everything broke down. Game point for Nippon. What a turnaround in Game 3. Fortune, not a good pass. And it's hit long. Game Japan. Staverdlik said it was touched.
I thought it was touched by the defender also. Right in front of us, Randy, I can see it all the way. It looked like he played it.
It sure seemed like it was touched outside the boundary, but Japan will take the game. The Americans didn't pass it well. They just didn't play well down the stretch. And one of the rare breakdowns for Fred Sturm's team, and it comes on the road in Game 3 at Osaka. Nevertheless, the Americans' lead has been carved to 2-1. Game 4 straight ahead on Sports Channel.